Coming up, construction on Epic Universe, Universal's next theme park, has resumed. Dates have been released for Halloween Horror Nights. Plus, we're going to talk about a really great discount that's available right now. All that and more on this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. I'm your host, Craig Williams. Today, I'm joined alongside by my co-host, Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
And we have a very fun episode for you today. Lots of news. You're actually going to notice a change in clothes and quality if you're watching this, because we already recorded this episode earlier in the week. We didn't give the news enough time to come out. And because of that, now we have to go back in and drop in the Halloween Horror Nights news. So you will notice that if you're watching. Maybe you'll notice a change in quality if you're listening. But I don't think you will. So I do, again, apologize for that. That doesn't look consistent all the way through, but it's what we have to do. And we're taking the easy way out by not re-recording everything. You know, we captured magic in a bottle the first time around. You don't want to try to replicate it again. So before we get going on that news, though, I do want to mention that we are sponsored by Dreams Unlimited Travel, the experts at helping you plan the perfect Universal Orlando vacation. If you love our content and you want to support us directly, the best way to do that is by booking a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. And you can get a free, no obligation quote and extra information at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And then, of course, also please make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video, and that you also make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you can leave us any comments or questions down below in there. And we'll get to the audio people in just a little bit towards the end of the show with extra love showered your way, potentially. I don't remember what we recorded, so we might or might not. Rhino's making faces, so either way, I grossed him out with those comments.
Yeah, you did. Well, I guess, is it James Taylor that showers the people he loves with love?
I do believe that is James Taylor, yes. As a person who's seen him in concert twice, I should know a little bit better. But, you know, as soon as he plays Fire and Rain, I just get distracted. But let's not get distracted any longer. We're going to do a costume change, clothes change, and I believe we're going to jump first into the news about Universal's Epic Universe. Let's now jump into the news, the epic news that I felt like it was going to come at some point in time, but it happened way sooner than I think anyone really expected. Like, I don't know, just based on watching Twitter the morning that it happened, it felt like people were genuinely surprised. But construction for Epic Universe, the newest Universal Orlando theme park, the third theme park at Universal Orlando, fourth total once you include Volcano Bay, it has resumed construction immediately after briefly pausing the construction because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And this news was first dropped early on Wednesday morning, Wednesday, March 3rd, to be precise, when Brian Roberts, the chairman and CEO of Comcast, was doing an interview with Morgan Stanley investors, and it was just during a conference call. And yeah, he dropped the news that construction would begin again on Epic Universe. And then the news release came out pretty quickly after that call was over, and we got extra details with it, like the fact that it's not just construction is starting back up. Construction has resumed immediately. Like, let that sink in. When they decided they're going to start back, they're like, no, we're not going to just announce it and then we'll wait a little while and get back into it. They are going at it immediately. And they have admitted, and they admitted in the press release, that it will take several months before they can really build up to full steam with it, full speed, as in they said, and completely restaff and reassemble all of the vendor and contractor teams that are a part of Epic Universe. But this thing is moving ahead. This is moving in the right direction. to get this park open way sooner than I think a lot of people expected, because when it was announced that it was indefinitely put on a pause because of the pandemic, it was anyone's guess as to how long it was going to be. Was this going to be until 2026, 2027, later, earlier? No one quite knew, because when Epic Universe was first announced, that was all the way back in August 2019. It was an announcement that we all expected, but then a month later in October, during one of the earnings calls, then they're like, oh, by the way, it's also going to be open in 2023. That seemed like, okay, this is moving fast. And then all of those plans just get thrown into the air because of the pandemic. But the really cool news now that I read through another article that came out, I believe, through the Orlando Sentinel when they dug in a little bit more. Apparently, Mayor Jerry Demings, confuse all that together.
Mayor Jerry Demings.
Yeah.
Sounds like a character from a kid's book.
Either a kid's book or even potentially like a Parks and Recreation character, something along those lines. But our Mayor Jerry Demings did speak with Universal Orlando, and I guess Universal right now, while they haven't unveiled a direct timeline, they did mention that they would like the park to be open by 2025. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I read it in one of their articles. So I figured
I'm
go ahead.
I was like, I'm literally clicking. What year is it? I couldn't remember for a second.
Yeah, we're back on the 4-year timetable. So I kind of had a feeling of we lost about a year because of COVID. So really, let's just add 1 year onto it at the very least, and that would kind of back right up to it. But it's more than just you lost the year of construction. It's also Comcast has to look how they're going to spend that money out too. They're throwing everything into it, but at the same time, you just can't go all in full force when the economy of tourism directly is still recovering slowly. I mean, luckily Comcast has that cable and internet money that has helped it push past all of the woes of NBC Universal, which has been hit hard because of movies and theme parks. But theme parks have evened off. Movies, it looks like that's coming sooner than later, and everything's about to get epic.
I was going to say, did you hear that they pushed Fast and the Furious is starting its pushback again now? It's a month. It's been moved back a month, and now the next Minions movie just got pushed a year.
That's okay.
So I don't know what's going on with their movie segment, but you do make a valid point that an internet company is like, I mean, not just internet, but they're a telecommunications company. And in the time of COVID, those are the companies that thrived, right? So even though there was a hit, it wasn't, I don't, like you said, it probably wasn't as a substantial hit because it's not like such a major artery of their company. I cannot speak today. I don't know what's happening.
I'm rubbing off on you,
but it's I am honestly, like, when they said this was back on, I was like, whoa, I'm surprised. But like, to say that Nintendo wouldn't be a big part of the decision in this factor, I feel like they know how much money is there sitting waiting to be made on like the merchandise and the experience of Nintendo, because they can essentially have that same kind of boom that they had with Harry Potter all over again, with a whole different crowd that honestly could even reach further, even generationally, than Harry Potter does. And it's really, it's fascinating to me. I don't know. I'm also, the more I think about it, the more impressed I am that they're saying they're going to build this whole epic universe in 4 years. Like, how long did it take to build Galaxy's Edge? I'm not trying to knock Disney. I'm just trying to think of the last fully thematic area that opened. Orlando would have been that, right?
Well, yes. Galaxy's Edge was the last big one. Galaxy's Edge, it sat on the land where the Backlot Tour was, as well as Streets of America. Streets of America closed in March of 2016 because we left on that Disneyland trip we weren't there the day it officially closed. We were in Disneyland, and that trip was like March 2016, right in that time frame. So Galaxy's Edge then officially opened in August of 2019. So about 3 years. But
it was announced in 2015 though, right? Because it was at D23 when they brought out the Force Awakens people, right? Yeah,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's so 3 years, and they built essentially like what? Like yes, they had to level land, same what Universal's doing the 3. So it's fat. I'm just thinking about this in terms of being older and being an adult, and being able to process this sort of stuff, that they're going to bring us, these however many lands end up in Epic Universe. You know what I mean? Let's even say it's like 4, and each one of them has 2 attractions. So that is 8 attractions, and maybe they're not all going to be Spider-Man and Forbidden Journey level of attractions, but it's still kind of crazy to me to think that in just 4 years they're bringing us fully immersive lands, a couple of lands. I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me, I guess. I don't know, because that level of like theme parks has changed, since I don't know. I haven't been in this game since a full theme park has ever opened, I guess. Maybe neither of you either.
The closest for me has been Volcano Bay in terms of a park opening, and obviously that's a water park, so I haven't dealt with that yet. But remember, Epic Universe isn't just a theme park. This is a 750-acre site that is south of Universal Orlando. It's on the property that that Universal had to buy back from when they sold it a long time ago, and I believe a couple other places. But this is not directly connected right now to current Universal Orlando. So because of that, they have to do more than just build a theme park. It's going to be a theme park, the entertainment center, hotel, shops, restaurants, all of that is going to be right on this new site, this new sister site that will be a part of the Universal Orlando experience. So it is more than just building a theme park. And I'm not saying all of that has to open up necessarily with Epic Universe, but as we saw from the concept art, it also looks very different than what we already expect currently with a theme park. So the artwork clearly does show 4 defined lands that right now, unless things have changed, which I personally don't know, I haven't dug in the rumors too much, but rumors pre-COVID was Super Nintendo World, along the Mario version, as well as Donkey Kong, the Universal Classic Monsters, How to Train Your Dragon, and then also a new section of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And then the entrance of the park, at least, was going to have that feel of like a astrological Roman Greek gardens feel to it. And then also the roller coaster in the concept art from, I believe, Alicia Stella. We've talked about her plenty of times. We've both been a part of projects that she's worked on, at least for her Patreon. I believe she has said that the roller coaster in the concept art is actually not a part of any of the lands at all and is separate on it too. So this is a very intricate, different experience on this land. So we can't just walk around saying like, oh, it's just a park, because it's more than that. But even more than that, I want to talk about it from the sense of the economy of Orlando and Florida as a whole, because this is going to have an extremely positive impact on Orlando and Florida. The park resuming construction will infuse billions of dollars into the Florida economy. It will result in hundreds of jobs with Universal and thousands of jobs across Central Florida. And overall, the project will create more than 14,000 permanent jobs in addition to those created during the development period. And that is a lot of workforce, especially after we have seen the layoffs that have happened in furloughs, people waiting to go back to work. I know Universal is going on a hiring spree right now, bringing people back in, and also they are going to do it even more now in in regard to Epic Universe as well too, and that is super positive. Again, Brian Roberts, the chairman and CEO of Comcast, said the restart of construction of Epic Universe is a terrific moment for our employees and for our theme park business in Florida. It's our single largest investment in the state and represents our enthusiasm for the spectacular park and the economic opportunities it will generate. And even Mayor Jerry Demings, again, not screwing up his name this time, said that the resumption of Epic Universe couldn't come at a better time. The community has so many talented workers who benefit from this massive project, and he's confident that it will deliver a huge economic boost to Orange County. And Rhino made me aware that I didn't even know about this, but apparently even with Epic Universe, Orange County was trying to offer Universal Orlando. Good
old Orlando.
They were at Universal. Orange County was trying to offer Universal Orlando a break, $100,000 break, in order to actually restart construction. It's part of a $10 million economic incentive program, according to Orlando Sentinel. And this launched last summer. And with it, part of this was that the county was going to slash permit fees, and that would hope that people would start to get back to building. And Universal flat out turned it down because they thought other people need it more, and they were already going to do the project anyways. So good on Universal with this. This is just excellent news all around for Universal fans, for Orlando fans, for theme park fans. Just I don't know what it's not good news for.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that they're basically like, okay, well, we know that, things are maybe not great right now, but we know that they're going to turn around, and we had this plan in place, and we know that people are, out of work. So let's do whatever we can and bring them back, and let's just keep going, because we know in the long run this is going to be beneficial for us, and we will make money from this.
Yeah, and I mean it. I think better than anything with it is this is one of those situations that we're all going to win in the long run with this. This park is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
It's just,
I can't wait.
We still are going to do our episode on Super Nintendo World down the line because it's open at Japan, but technically it still hasn't had its official grand opening. That had become delayed, but it's open, and the videos out there, like we talked about on our first episode back, it looks incredible. And to think that we're going to have a version of that, but expanded at Epic Universe, as long as the plans go through, how freaking neat. Like just so cool. But now on to our next news story, Halloween Horror Nights. Dates have been revealed. And you know what? It's March. It's not early by any means with this. It's actually pretty normal timetable, maybe even a little bit behind. I feel like it's usually like around the third week of February that a lot of that information is out, and like the first house reveal. But you know what? It's been a wild year, so I wouldn't expect anything to ever be normal anymore, and definitely not with Halloween Horror Nights. But we do have the dates for Halloween Horror Nights 30. Yes, it will, as long as everything goes off without a hitch. It will be the 30th anniversary of Halloween Horror Nights this year in 2021, and it could not, just that news alone could not be any more exciting. Like it was the news I needed this week.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just one of those things where, you can still keep thinking where you're like, yeah, Halloween. Because last year it was like, we can do this. We can get through this by Halloween. And it was such a sad time when we got there. And it was like, no. But this year it feels like it's nice. They're like, okay, we're confident we're having this event. So we're going in, we're announcing those dates. And, it makes me very excited.
Yeah. It makes me excited too. So what are the actual dates, you might be asking? Well, it is going to return on select nights, September 3rd through October 31st, 2021. And I have the entire list of select nights that it will be occurring on. I'm not going to read every single one of them off to you because it is 42 nights. and that is I just don't need to do that. But it kicks off on Friday, September 3rd, and it will run on the 3rd and 4th. And then basically after that, it runs Thursday to Sunday. And then after that, it runs every single Wednesday to Sunday, beginning September 15th, all the way through until October 24th. And then that final week, it runs Tuesday to Sunday. So October 26th through October 31st. So 42 days of Halloween Horror Nights. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, that's starting about 2 weeks earlier than normal, right? Because normally it starts around the 15th of September, the 12th of September.
No, they moved it back. I want to say back in 2019, it was not the very first weekend, but the second weekend. Based on how dates fell. I don't have that information off the top of my head right here, but this is the earliest, as far as I'm concerned, that they have started it. It's maybe it hasn't started the first weekend before, but not September 3rd.
As soon as you told me about the dates, as soon as you text me earlier, because I was trying to stay off of social media because this is the day that WandaVision finale came out, and Lord knows everybody likes to ruin everything. 12:01 if you haven't watched it yet. So I was very excited, and as I was getting ready to record this with you, I was just thinking to myself, because we missed it last year, I was like, maybe this will be the year. I say that now, but I probably won't do it. But maybe this will be the year I go in and get the fast pass part of the frequent fear pass, not fast pass, I'm sorry, express, assuming that they even do that sort of a thing. They might not. It might just be everybody's got to wait. I don't know what the details are going to be. Who knows if they'll even have frequent fear passes? It could be just a thing where you just buy in the tickets. Do we know that information yet?
They haven't released any information on tickets yet. Tickets aren't available to purchase at this time, but I expect no changes in terms of Universal's approach. I expect frequent fear passes to be back. I expect Express to fully be a thing, and I'm right there. I am getting Express with my frequent fear pass. It's one of those things that I was on the fence about it in 2019. I didn't go for it. 2020 didn't have to worry about buying a frequent fear pass, and so I now know that I have the next 6 months to save up that extra money to be able to have Express with my frequent fear pass. It's the best way to do Halloween Horror Nights, with the exception of doing like a VIP tour, which is also legitimately awesome. But, two complete different things. You can't do a VIP tour every single night you go. That would be bananas.
I know I'm going to need to get my Halloween on 100% this year. So that's why I spent a lot of time just roaming the park last year, not even necessarily going into the houses over and over again. Although I did find that I was doing the stay and scream quite a bit and things like that. But then I was happy to just be there and be in that atmosphere. And I've been really missing it. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to go and be in the atmosphere, like as much as I anticipate I'm going to be, I might as well just like kind of spring for it a little bit, pull back on some other stuff, save my cans, bring them to the recycling center, things like that.
No, I think that's a good method. And I already know that we're going to want to go through some of the houses a lot of times. So if you weren't really in on what was happening back in October, because we didn't really have a show back then, we were kind of in the middle of everything. Halloween Horror Nights was canceled in 2021 or in 2020. It did not happen at all. And instead they replaced it with a daytime Halloween event where there were 2 houses that were open throughout like the entire month of October. You had Revenge of the Tooth Fairy and Universal Monsters, The Bride of Frankenstein Lives, and then you had a ton of food and beverages all around the park that were specialty items for the daytime event, and then you had the tribute store, the scarecrow stock around the park. So it was a taste of Halloween, not to steal a phrasing from Disney, but that's just what it was. And it was great. It was really fun, but it just didn't quite satisfy the thirst that us Halloween Horror Nights fans have for the event. And we did get one taste of 2021, though, already back in 2020. If you were there on the final weekend, the Halloween weekend, they actually, for 2 days only, debuted a Beetlejuice house, which was supposed to be part of Halloween Horror Nights 30. And, well, we also got confirmation today that it is, in fact, going to be part of Halloween Horror Nights 30, and it will officially be one of the 10 houses that will be part of Halloween Horror Nights this year, along with 5 scare zones. And as of now, there was only one coming soon to be revealed block for entertainment. But in terms of the houses, yep, Beetlejuice.
I hope they bring the Lagoon show back. That's why I hope the entertainment is. But I don't. They ain't bringing that dance troupe back, I don't think. But I'm assuming the Lagoon show, because that was, even if it's the same one from 2019, I don't care. I want it. I know it won't be though, because obviously that highlighted, like the Lagoon show they were doing before, it highlighted the events that you were experiencing while you were at the park. So I just loved that show so much. I can't wait to kind of see what they come up with if they're doing a new one, or just bring that one back.
An updated version of that show featuring the properties that are going to be featured this year would be nice. Or just use it as a way to, it's the 30th anniversary of Halloween Horror Nights, so it's still a big event. All of it. Celebrate all of it, exactly. Yeah, celebrate the original properties that people didn't necessarily, maybe they weren't around all 30 years to see a lot of them. It's a good way to give them a taste of what they missed out on before they started attending the event. So I like that method with it. But seriously, bringing back the Beetlejuice house is, we knew that it was coming. The reason why it opened up apparently is because it was part of the contracts that in order to use it this year, it had to open at least a day or two last year. And that's why we're getting it. As long as all the talk that was online about it, if that was correct, that's the reason why we saw it 2 days, and that's why it's able to come back this year. But the house was freaking incredible. Again, we didn't do a show, I think, where we actually talked about it. It was amazing.
I loved it.
It was so perfect. And I'm going to be displaying photos of inside the Beetlejuice house as we're talking about it, and like it if it looks cool in the photos, I can tell you. I was going to say, trust me, I can tell you, it looked even cooler in person. This house,
it was.
Go ahead. Go.
No, I just, everything you're saying, like while you're talking about it, I'm just remembering us like walking through it, and so happy that we were able to go in more than once, we were very lucky to be able to do that. And what was great about it is how it kind of told that story of Beetlejuice in a unique perspective. So it wasn't just like literally the film, but you saw like a lot of those really great moments from the film, but you kind of went through the film in this unique way. And I was just like, this is cool. Like I can't wait to kind of go back and see that again and see it with like filled in with all the with the Morse characters, because obviously having to open it, just like when they had to open it, I'm imagining that some stuff probably wasn't in there, but not to say that it felt like it was missing anything, but it was so good.
Yeah. I think we said as we were making our way through the house, like the first time you're so in awe of everything that's happening around, you notice some gaps, but then the second time we went through, that was where we confirmed, like, yeah, there definitely feels like there's someone missing here and someone missing in this moment and that moment, but
there was no Catherine O'Hara. Where was Catherine O'Hara?
Yeah, so like we noticed little things like that, but it didn't take away from the overall enjoyment of the house. And honestly, there was a moment that got us the first time we went through, and then the second time we went through, once my wife was with us, it was even more epic as we went through. And I don't want to really go into spoilers because I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to see it. And maybe I already spoiled too much by showing the photos that they released with it, but it's so cool. And it is technically not the first house announced for Halloween Horror Nights 30, because there's also Puppet Theater Captive Audience that they revealed like the last week of October. Remember there was the awesome behind the scenes video?
Yeah.
Where I think it was
forgot about that.
Mike Aiello and then Greg Nicotero went and walked through the house and looked at different portions of that. But the weird part is in the list on Universal site where it shows like all the houses to be revealed, all 10 houses, they have Beetlejuice already, open in there, but the Puppet Theater Captive Audience was not on that. It wasn't already put in there. So I'm like, I mean, maybe in the time since we record this and before the show releases, they add it to there and say, oh, we just forgot about it. Like probably some other people did, like I did when I got excited right away with it. I was like, yes, first house and the dates together. This is great. And then I scrolled through the site and I was like, oh, wait, second house revealed. Second house. I completely forgot about Puppet Theater captive audience. But assuming it's still on the slate to be a part of it, we at least know 2 houses right there.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I tell you, even if they bring back the Bride of Frankenstein and the Tooth Fairy house, so that would be, let's say, let's just play what if right now. Let's say they did that, those 2, the puppet one, the Beetlejuice one, that still would leave us with 6 more houses to get excited about. And I'm not going to be one of those people. If those are the houses that have to come back, that's okay. I liked them. I would do them again happily. I maybe not enough people got to experience them. If they decided, okay, they were a good teaser for people during the day who don't normally get to go to Halloween Horror Nights or have never like taken that step to purchase the extra ticket because they don't know how they're going to fare, but leaving these open all day, that kind of gave them that taste of it. And they're like, okay, so the house served its purpose. Let's move on. That's okay too. I'm just so happy to have this event come back.
Yep. I am too. And I would actually double down. If Bride of Frankenstein Lives and Revenge of the Tooth Fairy are 2 of the extra ones on the lineup, I would definitely buy Express, solely because I think so many people did get to experience those 2 last year that I already know then
no lines. Yeah.
A lot of people, if they return from last year, a lot of people have already seen them, done them. They're going to want to hit those other houses. The same way that I feel about the other ones too. So when you look at it from that perspective, I'm going to want Express so that way I can go through the other houses quicker because
that's a good point.
It happened when American Werewolf in London had its second run in 2015 after being a house in 2013. People still loved American Werewolf in London back in 2015, but for those who had already seen it and done it, a ton of times in 2013, it just didn't have that return appeal as much. And part of the good reason why Universal does continually refresh the houses every year, and while they might have sequel houses, reimaginings of stories to their houses, they don't like to genuinely replicate the house year after year like some other Halloween events do around the country. And I understand why other ones do it, but it also I'm happy that Universal keeps it fresh for that reason and makes it an event that you have to revisit every single year. So I cannot be more excited about it. Rhino is in the same boat. Just September 3rd cannot come soon enough. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Especially for me because it's the end of the summer and I hate the summer season now. So it'll be the beginning of like hope it's going to start to cool down. But yes, very, very excited.
Yes, indubitably. Let's not necessarily just focus on what's coming up. Let's focus on what you can also benefit with right now. And part of that is this deal. We should have talked about it last week and left it off the table. That was my bad. I kind of forgot about it. But it is an actual really great deal because Universal Orlando launched a limited time offer that has 40% savings with it. That is amazing. So it is an incredible offer to save 40% on a 4-day 4-night hotel and ticket vacation package. And this package actually, because of that savings, it starts at $1,388 after the savings based on a family of 4. So a family of 4 traveling, you are going to have 4 days and 4 nights hotels with your tickets included, potentially as low as $1,388. Like, obviously, you still have to pay for your flights or driving down, but that's a good offer. So let's talk about what's in the offer. It's 4 days of fun and park-to-park access, including USF, Universal Studios Florida, and IOA, Islands of Adventure, home to more than 50 immersive experiences across both theme parks. Yes, I am clearly just reading the press release on this one. But moving on with that, so yes, you get 4 days of park-to-park tickets with that, and then you get 4-night accommodations at Universal's Cabana Bay Beach Resort, where guests can enjoy vibrant retro-themed rooms and fun for the whole family. It has the Lazy River Bayliner Diner, the 10-lane Galaxy Bowl. You get benefits like early park admission 1 hour before the general public, complimentary transportation throughout the destination, and all of the great perks of staying on property. You don't get the free express. That's with the deluxe hotels, not with Cabana Bay. But literally, again, four nights at Cabana Bay, 4 nights at Cabana Bay with 4 days of park to park tickets for potentially as low
for
as
family of 4, right?
$13.88. Yeah.
That's less than $87, $87.50. I did $1,400 divided by 4 days divided by 4 people. And that is $87.50 a day. So that includes your park ticket and your hotel, which is insane because a but that's park to park ticket too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that 1 day, 1 park ticket is over $100. And then you get to stay for free.
Yeah. No, it's this is an awesome deal. I don't know how much availability is still left with it right now, but basically, of course, there are details that go along with it. To benefit from the 40% savings, it is Sunday through Thursday travel. So that's the big one there. You're trying to do a weekend getaway?
Yeah.
You can say please all you want, but it's an
Here's the thing with that though. So let's say you take the week off and you're going to drive down, and it takes you, like, you're coming from Mass, like where I live. I mean, yes, I know there's probably quarantining issues and things like that to there, but it usually was a 2-day drive. So if you leave Friday, you would get in late Saturday night, or so I guess you'd want to leave Saturday morning. You'd get in on like a Sunday. You could do it. So
yeah,
I think, and then you leave on the Friday and you're back by Sunday. So it's like, there you go.
No, you make a good point with that. So it is still possible to, as long as you can get that time off with work, you can still make it really happen in a good way. But here's another kicker with it. The booking must be completed by April 19th, 2021. And then you have to travel through June 24th, 2021. So have to get that in there. Of course, there are blockout dates in that mix as well, too. So it's not just as easy, but it is potential that you can take part in this deal and you can get that massive savings. And there's always a good deal, a good promotion running with Universal Orlando. There just always is. This won't be the last one, but this one, I something about it just catches my eye. It also helps that Universal pushed it out and said, "Hey, this is a big deal. You need to make sure you're paying attention with this and spreading the news on it." But like, it's just it is a great deal if you can make it happen.
Spreading the news,
time after time. I don't know if that's the words. I don't know that song.
No, vacationing today.
Yeah, we'll make our own
New
words.
New York.
Yeah. Well, New York, as long as you're going to race through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, one of the many amazing opportunities you can experience while using your park-to-park pass at Universal Orlando with its vacation package. But that's the 2 news items that we really wanted to discuss in this episode anyway, so I might as well just segue in and saying, if you are interested in this vacation package, hey, once again, Dreams Unlimited Travel. The agents can help you try to get in on this vacation package if it's something you think you're going to be able to take advantage of, and you can save a lot of money, get that Universal fun in, and hey, you're helping to support us in it too. So that's it. That's all I have for us this week, though. We still have a lot to cover on this show coming up. I know I mentioned a dining review at one point in time, I believe last week, that we still have that dining review to come from Fire Eater's Grill, which you're not going to want to miss out on that. We still have to get over to Volcano Bay now since it is reopened and explore that park. And I know nothing drastic has changed since it was closed, but we just want to get back in it so that way we can do a refresher of Volcano Bay. So we still have that to come. And of course, any breaking news that comes out, we'll make sure we throw that in too. But Rhino, did I miss anything else in this one?
No.
Anything else you want to put in?
So.
Okay.
No, I was trying to do. I was trying to embrace the fact that I'm pausing like a stop motion figure at this point, but I couldn't. Every move, so I kept like moving, but it wasn't coming through on the video. So
It's okay. I think at this point in time, people understand that, it's until we're able to be back in our studios and stuff, we're still going to have moments where this happens. And it's, you guys have been so supportive through the entire pandemic for us as we've tried to make as good as content as we can in terms of the shows. It's easy to go out in the parks and do videos on our cameras and phones and all the devices we have. But we, as much as we did vlogs and such before the pandemic, our pride and joy was our podcasts. That's been the basis of the DIS Unplugged since Pete started the DIS Unplugged podcast way back in 2006. So to have to try to find different ways to do this throughout, it's been a challenge at points. And it's Rhino and I were talking about it, so that's the only reason why I bring it up. But it's humbling watching something like the Golden Globes, multi-million-dollar production, go off the rails as much as it did. And we can look at it and be like, you know what, we're not on the same size scale at all, but I feel like we deserve a pat on the back every now and then because we've been able to do more than I think we ever thought we would when this all went down, considering we always just relied on a nice cozy studio. So I know that came out of nowhere right at the end, but thank you to everyone who's stuck with us through this. And thank you to everyone who watches and listens to this show in particular that stuck with us when you just lost the content for a long time with very little explanation and only the explanation of, well, we need you to book vacations with us to Universal if you want this to come back. It's been a trip. Please. And you're doing it and it's helping. And, we're all in. We're back all in on this. And it's nice. It's fun and refreshing for us because it felt like Disney was just on our brains too much. So now it's like revisiting an old friend. Yes.
I was trying to think of something funny and sassy to say about my old friend, but I can't think of it.
It's fine. We're not.
I got
all
scared because it looked like something moved behind me and no one's in this house. So
it's
the owners are home. We got to go.
Yeah, you've got to stop just breaking into random houses, Rhino. One day you will find a house that has great internet, but you just can't break into them until you find the right fit.
Till then, got to keep trying.
It's not.
Oh, you're saying don't keep trying?
Yeah, don't keep trying.
Okay.
You're going to get arrested. Okay. It's not okay. It's not fine, but
all right. Okay. I'll try the playgrounds. It's fine.
Okay, that took a turn. So, Rhino, stop talking. Stop talking. That's a callback from a different show on this channel. So, okay, Rhino, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to everyone out there who listened and watched. Once again, please make sure if you are watching this on YouTube that you subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. Please leave us any questions or comments in the questions and comments. Please do that. That would mean a lot to me. And then if you are listening to this on any platform out there, please make sure you are also subscribing so that way you get the new episodes as soon as they come in and they're actually released. And then also specifically, if you listen to us through Apple Podcasts, if you could do me a favor, a big solid, and also make sure that you leave us ratings and reviews. That would mean a lot to me as well too, because that's how more people are able to actually find us. And I was in the background trying to scroll through, see if we've got any new ratings and reviews, but we haven't gotten them yet. Last one's been January 13th, so falling behind there. So please leave us ratings and reviews, and I will make sure that I give you a shout out here at the end of the show. And just like I'm going to give a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters who also help make all of these shows possible. Thank you so much for the support, and we need to continue to making more efforts to show you how much we support We appreciate your support, and we will find ways to do that in the future. And if you want more information on our Patreon, patreon.com/DIS Unplugged, and you can sign up at any of the tiers based on whatever is available to you and what interests you. So that's officially it for this show. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon with another episode of the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition. Until then, remember, we still haven't changed the name.